Now, as we've just seen, in the world of publishing, redesign, repackaging, new identities are an important part of the marketing communication process, and so it is too in the world of radio. I've been taking a look at how one graphic design agency in Dublin has helped Newstalk in their application for a quasi-national radio licence.
Newstalk always intended to go for a national licence from day one. It was broadcasting locally for 4 years, and we always hoped that the opportunity for an application for a national licence would come around. Now, it did in December last year, so we had to get ready for that. The whole idea was that we would build a product over a 4-year period that wouldn't specifically be local and that would transfer easily enough to a national market. So yes, we absolutely had to make tweaks to the schedule and so on, to our news content, but it wouldn't be such a huge leap that it would be a massive job of work if and when we actually won a national licence. There were certain areas of the schedule locally that were purely Dublin, like City Edition, and they were going to be affected by a national schedule. But other than that, we would have believed that we had a product that was almost in place should we win the national opportunity, and that's what's happened. The application itself had to present a case study, really, that said that we had the product and the financial viability to succeed as a national radio station. It's a very big job, but we had one chance in a written format to actually put that argument across. In terms of putting an application together for the BCI, it's absolutely critical for us that we were able to portray the picture in design format, pictorially, visually, very, very succinctly and clearly. We had a lot of questions to answer, so from the perspective of the people who were actually reading our application, there had to be clarity. They had to easily identify where the questions were and how we were going to answer them, and we shouldn't have given any headaches to anybody in the BCI in terms of them trying to understand our application. So at an absolute minimum clarity. Over and above that, it was critical that we were able to express the brand of Newstalk through the design and very, very quickly capture the argument in a design format that actually made sense and that communicated what we wanted communicated about the application itself.
Established 10 years ago, Dcoy Design are a Dublin-based graphic design agency with several blue-chip clients. Among these is Dennis O'Brien's Communicore Group, where Dcoy have worked on redesigns for 98FM and also Newstalk 106. They played a central role in putting together the submission documentation for Newstalk's application for the quasi-national licence.
The brief that we accepted from Newstalk was quite an open brief. There was nothing really other than wanting something with a very high impact. We saw at the initial meeting samples of previous submissions, and I suppose the thing that came through there was that it was to portray a very positive aspect of the station. So with that in mind, we felt we had to go and give it a good bit of thought and brainstorm as to how we would get the Newstalk submission to that level. We collaborated with Newstalk in the sense that we came up with an idea of a day in the life of a radio station, which was quite a nice idea, the fact that we could start filming at 6 in the morning and go right the way through. It's not, let's say, widely known as to what goes on in a radio station, so it was our chance to show the kind of work that went behind the scenes. Most people listen, they don't see a radio station.
It's April 24th, 2007. The main headlines this morning: tight security at Baldonnel Airport as Queen Elizabeth arrives in Dublin for state visit. 5-bedroom house in Knock sells for $1 million as decentralisation is rolled out. And Aer Lingus Chief Executive
what we decided we would do is reflect that day in the life throughout the actual written application through black and white photography, and that's what happened. Doing that gave us an opportunity then for an idea to present the DVD version of a day in the life in the oral hearing process of the application, which is the next stage once we've submitted the written document.
We had a very good relationship with Newstalk. It was a very tight timeline on the project. We had about 2.5 weeks from literally concept to delivery. So we had to work very closely with them. And at one stage in here we had about 8 different people from Newstalk all working with different people on different sections at different times. So it got to the stage where we were even helping them write some of the copy. So we were working very much hand in glove with them at all stages. A number of doors have opened up as a result of this project. We've worked with Spin, we've produced 2 other license documentations for them. We've also worked on 2 oral hearings, and we're about to begin a 3rd one. 98 FM have come to us, and we have redesigned their logo, which is currently been in the final stages of getting ready for rollout. We've also worked with Spin again on a number of promotionals, such as there's a thing at the moment called the Cash Cow.
It also gave us an opportunity to review what our brand looked like, specifically the logo, because one of the big challenges for Newstalk going national was to be able to communicate that this is a talk radio station that also has as its spine a fantastic news service. So it gave us an opportunity to examine how was our brand being communicated, and as a result we've actually changed our logo. We demoted the news element of it and promoted the talk, but it clearly communicates that we're news and talk, refreshed what we already had and communicated, I think, much more succinctly what this brand is actually all about.
What we've done with the logo is we've updated it, we've upgraded it, and we've taken the emphasis off news, so it is news talk. So in other words, what the presenters are doing is they are saying to people at the news time is, Minister, talk to me. And during the more talks generated programs, it's more, well, what's the news? So that's where the emphasis is going, and it ends with the full stop, so it's news, talk, that's it.
The application process gave us a chance to have a look at the logo and what it looks like, but also we were going to use that brand new logo through our communication channels. So we're running a national campaign, outdoor, print and also on TV. The TV campaign itself was an opportunity, and 40 seconds is a very short time to get the message across.
Good morning, you're listening to Newstalk 106 to 108 FM.
And this is The Breakfast Show with Claire Byrne and Ger Gilroy.
Not the decision the men had hoped
What we
for.
wanted to communicate was a completely different approach to talk radio in Ireland. We featured our main presenters, which gives you an idea of the age profile, what we do, what we like to talk about, how we treat sports, and just a completely different way of looking at the world. Ireland is a much different place now than it was 10, 20, 30 years ago, and what we want to do is produce very good talk and news radio that reflects the Ireland that we live in today. It's a different nation, Newstalk's a different station.
6 to 108 FM, different nation.
Design communications is all about consistency of message, be it from the business cards that you receive, that somebody gives you, to the nameplate on the door, to the sign, to all forms of communications within the company. It's branding, it's what the whole company is about, it's the language it speaks, it's the message it conveys to its customers and also to its staff as well.
Now to our newcomer.